So right now we are in a build-up to the World Cup next year, and we'll get to that. But first, I wanted to ask you, what is your earliest memory of the World Cup? Like, were you a kid watching TV with your family? Like, what comes to mind?
I have a couple, actually. I remember the '94 World Cup. That's how old I am.
Same age.
7 years old at the time. So yeah, I remember watching that. Not as vividly. I remember the World Cup in Korea, waking up at ungodly hours to watch games. Funny enough, like the other big memory that I have of the World Cup is the Women's World Cup, and being at this may sound really bad for the people I was with, but being at a bar in between a basketball tournament, in between games at a basketball tournament, at a bar watching the final, and Brandi Chastain scoring the winning penalty. So like, I have a lot of different types of memories, but the earliest one is definitely the '94 World Cup.
That's amazing, because like similarly, I was watching the '99 Women's World Cup as well, and I know this is an interview about you, but we were watching it with my best friend, and we were supposed to go to an NSYNC concert that night, and for like 9-10-year-old girls, this is like the coolest thing around, and she kept being like, are we gonna go? And we're like, stop it, like, we'll get there. And so we watched the whole thing, and then ended up still making the NSYNC concert. They
Perfect.
swung in, and we had a great time, but it's so fun talking about the childhood aspect of it, because as these athletes who are now in their 30s looking back, when you look back, and when you were that little, did you have any idea, like, were you like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make that World Cup roster someday?
No, I mean, it's always a dream. Like, you dream as a kid, right? And you want to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself, but you also want to play and just play because you love to play. Yeah. So yeah, it was always, you know, at 7, 8, 9, oh, like, it'd be great, and you're in the backyard and you're playing what we called at the time was World Cup, and you're crossing a ball in from a corner, and it's like the last kick of the game, and you're in your backyard and trying to finish the play off. And but I don't know that there was any time that I was like, oh, I want to make a World Cup, or I want to play for the U.S. It was, I just want to play. I want to play as much as I possibly can. I want to be a professional soccer player. Mm-hmm. And then once that, I think it's kind of like that natural progression. Once you start to get closer to the professional side, then you're like, well, there's another step here that you can try to take. So, yeah, I don't think I dreamed that big of being on a World Cup team, but it definitely, as I got older, was something that was always on my mind.
Love that. And now moving forward a little bit, you've participated in one World Cup already, and if selected, I was wondering, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
I was wondering, are you going to approach it with the same mindset, or now with more experience, being a more veteran player, do you have a different perspective?
That's a great question. I guess it depends on your role, really, within the group, and that is constantly changing. And as you know, the roles, and whether you're starting, whether you're the first person off the bench, whether you're whether you're the player in the corner who's bringing everybody their orange slices and giving them the pep talks. Yeah. It all changes. I mean, as of right now, I would approach it the same way I approached the first one. Is that it's not my first one, but it is my last one. So the last one I thought was my first and my last. And so now, yeah, it's such a blur, that first one, where you're just in it, and you're fully focused on, okay, you're playing, you're recovering, you're doing a little bit of training, you're playing again, and it's just this constant. Thankfully for us, we were in one location, we were in one hotel, we were back and forth. It was 45 minutes depending on what stadium we were playing in, which was nice. But the travel aspect wasn't there. That will definitely be something for this coming World Cup. But I think I'll appreciate it more in the moment, being at my second one, if I get there, than I did in the moment being at the first. Because, like I said, it was such a blur. But I appreciate it, and you get flashbacks of the first.
Totally.
If you know, you would know what I mean. You think and you're like, oh yeah, that happened. Like, that was an amazing experience. So I think taking in more would be my different approach. But yeah, right now it's like head down, just getting after it and trying to do everything you possibly can to get there, and then you can figure it out from there.
That was definitely one of the best parts about getting older in the sport, was being able to appreciate everything a bit more. So fingers crossed, making that World Cup squad, going into it with new perspective. I love it.
Yeah.
Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of U.S. soccer, driving a positive impact in the game and in communities all across the country, helping turn possibilities into achievements and lifting fans, stadiums, and cities to their feet. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, official bank of U.S. soccer. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
I guess, what would it mean to you, but also to the team, to play in a World Cup on home soil?
I mean, for me, we go back to earliest memories. My earliest memory is 94, which we hosted. And now my last involvement potentially would be one that we get to host.
Poetic.
Full circle. Crazy how that has kind of worked out. But for me, it's the same every time I get that email and that phone call. It's like it means something to me. And it's going to be the biggest World Cup ever, and it's on our home soil, and I think we all understand the and grasp how like major it really is, and I think that's important for all of us, not just the older players who understand perspective and get it. It's more than likely none of the guys who are going to be on that squad next year will experience another home World Cup.
No, definitely not.
They really won't. And so I think for us, it's, I think we realize the gravity of how big it is. And it's just about embracing it. You can't worry about whether, there's more pressure, there's less pressure, who you're playing against, what you're doing. It's just about embracing the each and every game and each and every moment. And I'm excited for it. I'm, hopefully, again, we keep doing this fingers crossed thing, but, continuing on the way I have been, I would, without a doubt, it would be the most exciting moment in my career, and the culmination of, it'll be 17 hard years professionally, and then everything before that, all coming to the top.
Well, just so you know, I'm excited too. Like, I'm excited to be a fan of this World Cup. I've never gotten to be a fan of the World Cup before. When we were playing in Canada, it felt like a home tournament because so many of our fans,
of course,
made the trip up and were rooting for us. So I can just imagine what it's going to feel like for you guys. So I'm really excited for you.
It should be good.
Yeah, it'll be really good.
Really good.
And don't worry, I'll be there.
Perfect.
Yeah. So there's a lot of talk about the American way, and especially in terms of like this young squad and the squad going into the World Cup. And as a player who has played abroad for a long time, what exactly is this American way, and how has it changed over the years?
I mean, for me, the way I understand it and the way I've always kind of approached it is that you're going to get an honest, hardworking type of player, no matter if they're technically skilled, they're not technically skilled, they're good on the ball, they're average on the ball, whether they're tactically astute or they aren't. it's this idea of you're going to work and you're going to work and you're going to work and you're just going to keep working and you're going to keep going, you're going to keep going, and the effort is always going to be there. It's the bare minimum. It's something that has always been the basic intangibles of what has made the players moving over especially successful. You look at guys like Tim Howard, at Clint Dempsey, these guys at Brian McBride, they've all worked to get to where they are. And I think that is something that everybody can relate to. And I think that is when you boil it down, that's what it is. That's what it means to be an American player. And it has evolved. We have a lot more technical players. We have a lot more guys who can fit different systems and play in different systems. And I think that's just the evolution of the game itself. I think if you look around every country, they would probably say, oh, the game has evolved, and now we have lots of players who could play a lot of different positions, and there's so much versatility. But I think when you boil it down, it's still the bare minimum that you have to have. You have to have that work ethic and that desire to go, and if something happens, you have to go again, and you have to go again. You just keep going, really until the wheels fall off. And
it's a non-negotiable.
It's a non-negotiable.
Yeah.
It really is, and if you can do that, you can create a really long, successful career for yourself.
I love that, and I feel like it speaks to this next kind of quote that you had that I really enjoyed, by the way, where you said, "Our squad needs to prove that we're not pushovers." And I just love that, because I want to know, like, what does that mean to you? And like, what kind of toughness do you expect from this group?
Yeah, I think, listen, it's not a secret. There's the last couple of years have not been where we've wanted to be, in terms of play, in terms of results, in terms of a lot of things. And the togetherness that was once a hallmark of all the U.S. teams kind of waned a little bit, and I don't think there's no reason to shy away from that. Like it's been discussed at length, and I think we really this last Gold Cup, we really kind of brought that back into the fold. And people can say, oh well, so and so wasn't here, and this group of guys, and yeah, but it was this group and not the main group, and it doesn't matter. You have to start somewhere. And it was just rebuilding that feeling of togetherness, that feeling of connection, that whatever happens, that we're going to have each other's back. And again, that's one of those non-negotiables. You have to have that connection and have each other's back in order to be successful and continue to show other teams and other countries that we're not going to be pushed around. It's not going to happen anymore, and we need to get back to that fighting spirit that was once was once the thing that just defined what the U.S. soccer was.
The spirit.
The spirit.
Yeah,
that's exactly it.
Anyways, thank you so much for being here. This has been such a joy to talk to you, and good luck this weekend and beyond.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been very enjoyable.